Hi, thank you for joining me today for my third layout for the Hey Little Magpie creative team. And once again, I'm using the Groovy Darlin collection from Jen Hadfield. So this is a photo from the archives. It's of myself and my family and family friends back in the summer of 1990. And we were all having a barbecue on the island of Alderney. We were all sailors and we'd met up with them in one of the other Channel Islands, and we'd all sailed together around to Alderney and decided to have a barbecue together. So a really special memory that I've got of my childhood, and I wanted to document it. So I just grabbed a load of the washi sticker flowers from the papery pack, and I wanted to create a background with those in a diagonal going from bottom left to top right. So I just grabbed some of them out before I started filming, and you can see I'm just slowly sticking those down now onto the page. Underneath the photo, so to speak, and then I can carry on embellishing once these are down. I found this fabulous title that says Grow Wild Flower Child, and I thought that worked really nicely with this photo. So I'm just using my T-square ruler to check that that is straight on the page. It's difficult to tell sometimes, and once these stickers are down, they're very thin, so you wouldn't want to have to pull them up again and risk tearing them. So just making sure that that's burnished nicely onto the page, and then I'll carry on with these pieces at the top. Now I've pulled out that Oh Happy Day, that's another washi tape sticker, and I did contemplate, you'll see later in the filming, I contemplated using that as a title, keeping the backing sheet on and adding it to foam pads, but in the end I decided against it. It's just a little bit too much on the page, because I also wanted to get in the fact that this was the summer of 90. So yes, it didn't make it. But you can see here, I'm just layering up these top flowers now. I wanted to make sure that these overlapped one another nicely. Because they're translucent, it's really nice the way that they look when they're overlapping. So there's the first one down, and then I've just got that lovely cream one to go at the top there. Still bringing in that Oh Happy Day, thinking that I'm going to use it. But you'll see once I start adding layers behind the photo and other bits and pieces, it's just too much. So it doesn't stay on. So there's that last flower, and you just have to be a little bit careful not to get creases when you're laying these down. But if you start at the middle, it tends to work out okay. You can fan out from there. So that's the basis of the layout, just having a quick tidy up. And then I brought out this Tim Holtz Stampendous stencil. It's got all the sparkles around it, and I'm using my fossilised amber ink to go around and just add some sparkles around those florals. This shape, in fact, is on the sticker sheet, the 6x12 sticker sheet with copper foiled stars, so I will bring some of those in after as well. So just adding some to the bottom now. And I'm just trying to work them around the pieces that I've already added to the background rather than overlapping them. Almost there, just wanted to add a couple more at the bottom, a few more up here. I don't want to go too far out of this cluster because I know that the photo is going to go up there, so just being a little bit careful where I add them. Just in the very bottom corner now, and then that's it done, I think. There we go, and I love the interest that that adds to the page. It's amazing how a few little scattery bits can really make such a difference. So now I'm going through the papery pieces, and I find this lovely notebook edged piece, so I'm going to use that as the mat for my photo. So just popping that on there, and then there's this other frame which I'm just going to use the border of to add as another layer on the bottom right hand corner there. So just being careful with my ATG because these are papery pieces, so they're very thin. So that's that done. And then I'm going to look to see what else I can find. I find this piece that says postcard, and we always used to send postcards in those days. So I thought I'd add that to the page as well. Still thinking about using that Oh Happy Day, but it's becoming more obvious that it's not going to work up there. So just popping that on. I'm not too bothered about covering up the address side, but I want to keep that foiling that says postcard visible. So I think about bringing this ticket in, but I don't in the end. And then I find this little piece that says message. I think that's cut from a previous piece actually. And I just think that draws the line of the layout over to the left, which I like the look of. And I know I need something on the right hand side, so I go hunting, but then I see this circular element and I think that will work nicely. Again, it's a washi sticker, so I'm just going to peel off the backing and add that down up there, and I love the colours that brings into the top. So just curling up the edge of that message piece slightly because it just overlaps that title ever so slightly. And then I find this paint swatch piece that says sunshine, so I really wanted to bring that in. So just overlapping over those mushrooms and things that were on the postcard and sticking that down. And then I'm going to get this whole block stuck down so that then I can carry on embellishing. So I have got another one of the ephemera packs here, which I'm going to open up. I'm just going to have a quick look on the back to see what's in there. And straight away I spot this vellum butterfly, and I think that's going to work perfectly on the washi stickers at the bottom. And then this lovely little red floral, just to pretty up that paint swatch piece that I've got there. So add the red floral and then this vellum leaf. And I'm going to pop the floral piece up onto foam just to create some dimension there, and then I shall stick the vellum piece down underneath it. But I'm just going to add glue to the bottom because that will leave the leaves to run freely a little bit and bend up a bit and create some shadow. And then in this other piece I saw that there were some sunglasses, so I thought they would work nicely. So look for the ones that are a heart shape and add those. Just getting that glue down there. And then I found this piece with a tab at the top, which I thought would work nicely as another layering piece. So I'm just having to peel everything up to get that tucked down under there. I like all those different layers that I've got, the big layers today. So this is the 6x12 sheet that I was talking about with all those lovely copper sparkly bits. So I'm just going to scatter a few of those around the page, making sure that they're straight. Sometimes a bit quick to stick things down and then realise after they're not quite straight. So you have to redo them, like that one I think is a little bit off, yeah. Still bringing in that title. So I think about adding it to the bottom here, and I go as far as adding all the foam pads, but then realise that it's just too much because, like I say, I want to add another title across the bottom, and it's on the same level as that Grow Wildflower Child, which I wasn't totally happy about. I didn't really like the symmetry that it was giving. I would have preferred it higher up, but then that would have hidden part of the photo that I didn't want hidden. So having a look at these 6x8 sticker sheets, and I find the perfect piece to add to that bottom right. I just felt that I needed something to mirror the postcard in the top left, so just that little sticker that says memories was enough to do that. So now I'm going to spell out summer of 91. I spelled this out, I do all my journaling and then realise it was actually the summer of 1990, so then I have to go and rewrite everything. But for now I'm putting 91. There aren't any commas or apostrophes in this set, but I ended up using the little piece out of the 9, and that works really nicely actually. You can't tell that it's not a comma. So I add that. So there's my title for now, and here comes my journaling, and I do it straight onto the page. So just adding some lines using pencil and T-square ruler. And then you'll see at the end I have a pause and think, oh, yeah, it wasn't 91, it was 90. That's the moment where I realise. So I take the 1 off and change it to a 0. And my journaling makes no sense because I journaled about the fact that it was my last summer before I went off to university, but it wasn't. It was the summer before that. I was halfway through my A-levels. So I do have to switch all that up, but it all works out in the end. So I'm just having some thinking time, so I go through and find a few more floral pieces from the ephemera pack to scatter around, and because these are on card I can mount them up onto foam pads and just provide a little bit of dimension on the page. So I just add 3 of those in the various clusters. And this is where I decide I really do need to think about doing something to that journaling. So first of all, I'm just going to write Old and Channel Islands at the top because that's where we were. And this is where I'm trying to think about covering it up somehow. So I grabbed this piece that says happy, but I didn't really want to use that. It looked too obvious that I was covering something up. And then I found this notebook paper. So I trim that off so that you don't have the flowers, just the notebook, but you could still ever so slightly see the writing underneath. And I definitely didn't want that. So I decided if I just added a banner at the top with a pattern paper, that would hide everything. So I wanted to look like it was torn notebook paper. So I just tore that bottom edge off. And this is where I'm going to bring in that pattern paper to add the banner. So it's like a line just underneath the title. And then I'll add my journaling to that piece. And that works really well because it's a grid paper, so I can write easily on the grid. So just sticking that down straight underneath the title, making sure that it covers all of the writing. And then this piece does cover everything nicely. Just trimming it down ever so slightly so it's the same width as that paper that I've added at the top. And then I can redo my journaling so that it makes more sense to the actual year. So there we go, that's the journaling done. And then I can just stick that straight over the top and nobody will ever know. There we go. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I've provided some inspiration. Do check out this collection. It's absolutely glorious. I've really enjoyed working with it this month and I shall continue to use it because I've still got a lot left. See you again soon. Bye.